comes back in, and there's a nail sticking out of the back of his head, and it's like deep in the back of his head.
Jesus. Yeah, didn't he die?
Yeah, I killed him.
Okay. I just needed a refresher to remember.
Yeah, he's dead. The orgy server. Of course.
Yes, the orgy server. That's crazy. There's drama in the Lego Battles Reddit.
I guess. We used to play 3 people on a Chromebook, which you have to understand that is the most cramped keyboard. We had 3 hands.
You're like, shut down. It's like, all right, shutting down, Brian. Like, no. Yeah. Beware of the well. Sometimes you can still hear them at night whispering, Arigato. Welcome to my Facebook Live.
Welcome back to the TGOM Podcast, episode 40? Is it 40? We have to be on 40. 40 or 39. I'm pretty sure it's 40. Because if it were 39, then I had been wrong last week? No. Maybe. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyways, this is the TGOM Podcast. This week, it is once again just Jacob. But that's okay. It says we have 40 episodes. Episode 38. This is 39. Okay. It is 39. So he will be here for... What in the world is happening? I'm right here. There I am. How's it going? Maybe I should just switch it to manual focus. Maybe that would help. It's too late. Anyways, welcome to the TGOM Podcast. Today we're talking about colony survival games. Yes, my topic sheet is over there. We're talking about colony survival games and my hopeless addiction to them. So, I can't help but look at the viewfinder. I know I'm not supposed to, but I am. So if you see me look off to the right of the screen, maybe left, pretty sure it's right, then that is why. So I've been playing a game called Surviving the Aftermath, which is a post-apocalyptic colony building survival game. It's fun. Obviously, that's why I've been playing it. If it were not fun, I would stop playing it and refund it, like I did with one game. But we'll talk about that game probably in the next episode or whenever Nick comes back. I'll talk about that. So I got this game. It was on sale. I was like, this game looks kind of sick. I was looking for like a kind of strategy, colony strategy, like city builder. I was looking for more of a grand strategy game, kind of like your Hearts of Iron 4, something like that. But I was a little scared because those games are very daunting, big, kind of like Persona 5, but whole another level of in-depthness, like that. Yeah, whole another level of in-depthness. Anyways, and I saw this game, and it was like survive a colony after the moon exploded or something. There's that's like the whole thing, like the moon splintered or something, and like now there's like rocks coming to Earth and they're giving off pollution, something like that. Don't really know what the story is actually. I just know something has to do with the moon splintering and sending chunks into Earth. Is that actually what it's about? I don't know, but I think it is. So hopefully that is correct. And if it's not, the story really isn't that important. All you need to know is that there is radiation everywhere, and your colonists will get irradiated and they will die, which I learned the hard way and the easy way because I read that would happen, and then I figured out that happens. So you have basically nothing when you start the game. And you need to make these stockpiles that will just garner random wood that's laying on the ground. At the beginning of the game, you get like these food supply huts things that you can make a little workspace where they will, as long as you have free carriers, which is a whole nother topic of the game, they will go and grab that thing and bring them back to that stockpile. And the further away the thing is, the longer it will take to get that item, obviously. Um, so you need to be sure that if it's too far away, if you feel like it's gonna take forever, you should just build a new one. And also your stockpiles don't even need a work zone to work. Like as long as there is a stockpile there, other places around it that generate items like concrete, plastic, wood, metal, all that stuff, even other even other things, they will bring it to that stockpile. They'll bring it to like the closest stockpile to them. I'm pretty sure it's the closest. And you can also like make it like requested items, like we're looking for metal over here. Um, so if you have a metal like a scrapper, which is what makes metal from like you know ruins of metal structures, you'll put like a stockpile, and I'll make the requested thing metal, so that I know that they're going to take it there and not walk halfway across the map to the other stockpile, stockpile for some reason, because they're like, they want it over here, so we'll just carry it over there. But it's like it's again fun, and there's like all these different catastrophes that can happen. You have my least favorite, the winter storm, where all your crops die, your foresters die, which are people that plant trees, and something else dies that you can't use. Oh, your lakes, your water collectors that you place on lakes and rivers and water places. Those will freeze, and you will not be able to get water. So yeah, that's a bad thing, and then you can, and then, but there's obviously ways around that. There's different water sources you can build, but they're not nearly as efficient as a water collector. So, and then there's also the pandemic, which we should all be familiar with what that is. Um, where your colonists will start getting sick, and you need to start building medical tents and having antibiotics. And there's no way to like, because like the game will tell you, I think 24 hours in advance, like 17 hours in advance, somewhere in there, like this is going to happen. Or maybe that was just because I was playing on with the tutorial on. Maybe that's why. But whatever. Um, so it's like, winter is coming or pandemic is coming. Anyways, what's I talking about? Pandemic. So you need medical tents, and you need antibiotics. But you need that anyways. So basically the game, like, the pandemic will start, and before you know it, there's like half your colonists are now sick. and, um and like it's that's the worst. It's terrifying, and the more colonists that get sick, the more water they use, and therefore you will be like negative water. Like negative water production, meaning you're not producing enough to meet the need. It's probably fairly obvious, but in case you didn't get that. Um, so I've had that happen multiple times where I'm like, okay, if I start building water collectors now, it's not going to matter because it's going to take like 20 minutes for them to get built. Not literally, but it's going to feel like forever for them to get built. And then what? They're still going to be dead by then. So that's the pandemic. The pandemic's pretty awful. Definitely Winter Storm and Pandemic, my least favorites. Another one is the heat wave. I think it's called a heat wave, something like that, where it just gets really hot. That one's the easiest because you just need water. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Oh, also in the winter storm, you need a thing called burners, which are basically just giant fire pits that radiate heat, obviously. And you need a lot of those. Otherwise, people will get hypothermia and die. You're probably catching a theme here. Lots of death is happening. People will die. One of the tips in like the loading screen is literally colonists will die. Do not let that demoralize you, which is very, very, very funny. So there's those three, and then there's one more I wanted to talk about that I can't think of now. The pandemic, heat wave, winter storm, and Okay, well, I've had this once. There was a radiation wave, like a radiation cloud that kind of came over my colony, which was pretty bad. So everyone gets irradiated, and if you don't have clothes, which is a whole nother story, they'll get radiated even faster, essentially. There's also meteor showers. That one's like kind of lame, honestly. It's just like a couple rocks fall from the sky. And I guess if I was playing on probably a higher difficulty, I mean, I clicked on the second one, which was like it's gonna be challenging but fair, which is like I want to have fun, you know. And it still was like 75% difficulty, which is higher than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like 60, but no, 75, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll be pretty hard. And I mean, I had one instance. I believe was it the winter storm or was it the pandemic, where it was like my the left side of my screen, which is where all the notifications appear, was just death, death, sick, 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 death, death, death. You finished the construction. Death, death, death. And like with the most, like besides the sound of ambient, like besides the ambient noises, the most audible thing was a colonist has died. A colonist has died. A colonist has died. It was the worst. It was so funny, but it was terrible. Um, and I always feel bad, but I know I shouldn't because they're not real people. But I do still feel bad. Um, so that's surviving the aftermath. I could probably keep going into real like strategy guides in the game, but I'm not going to because I'm not that good at the game. Obviously, I've been doing very well, but like it's also an easier difficulty, so it's not like it's gonna be crazy. Um, the one thing I will say about it is like no matter how well you are doing, like no matter how many resources you have, no matter how many colonists you have to do to like build the buildings and build the buildings, carry equipment here and there, you always feel like you're losing. You feel like I always felt like no matter like something is going to happen and like everyone's going to die. Um and I'm gonna be very sad. Um Luckily that it has not happened yet where everyone dies or everyone leaves, which is a thing that can happen. But I've definitely felt like it could happen. But it didn't. It hasn't. So I'm kind of going off, honestly. Um what else can I talk about for 30 minutes? I can talk about Battlefield 2042, I guess, which is new Battlefield game, not very new anymore. It came out in like this year, 2021. That's not this year, but last year, maybe last year it came out. Yeah, I'm gonna say last year. Am I wrong? I don't care. Came out last year. Game sucks balls. Everyone knows it, and no one plays it. In fact, no one plays it because everyone's playing Battlefield 1, a game that came out in 2016 and is 100 times better than it. It has 10 times the players. 10 times the players of Battlefield 2020, 2042, and it came out in 2016, which is like 7 years ago. 7 years from when that game came out, maybe. It's an older game and it's way better. It's based on more Battlefield. It's based on Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 is. It's based more on World War 1. Not really tactics, it's always run and gun, but I mean like the setting is more World War 1-esque. Vehicles are those big tanks that could be killed with a grenade to the top. If you get a grenade to land on top, it dies. They also don't have cannons on the top. They have cannons on the side for some reason. They get stuck in the mud. Not in this game though, because that would kind of kill the fun if you had to stop in your death machine every few meters because you got stuck in the mud. I don't know why I said meters. I'm not British, but whatever. Or European at all. Actually, like not even close. But anyways, it's just like packed full of people, and then Battlefield 2042 is just dying. I believe EA or DICE said that they are. Well, DICE hired a whole new like producer, executive director for like the Battlefield series. I think, pretty sure. And the guy was like, "Yeah, the next one's going to be Battlefield and not whatever Battlefield 2042 was trying to be." He said something like Battlefield 2042 was trying to be a whole bunch of other games and it didn't land at all. Like none of them hit. Um, so we're just gonna try and make Battlefield again, which is fair because that's what the game is, Battlefield. If you missed that, um, my nose hurts. Got like dried boogers. It's the worst. Ah. Anyways, so that's like all that's happening. Elections or not elections. Midterms were a few days ago. Feel really bad because I feel like I should have voted, but I did not because I was not up to date on anything. Um, I mean, okay, I was up to date sort of on like bigger picture stuff, but like in my state, I didn't really know the differences between the candidates other than their parties, obviously. So I didn't want to vote for someone that actually didn't resonate with me, which kind of is a weird way to put that, I guess. But like, you know what I mean. Um, but I did feel pretty bad because I was like, I should have voted, even But whatever, live and learn, I guess. So recently, something I do know that's been happening in politics is DeSantis, the governor of Florida, I believe. I think people think he's running for president. I think or something like that. Or he's planning, or he could be planning on it, something like that. I just know that like Trump is really angry with him for some reason. I don't remember why, because I didn't look very far into it, because I honestly didn't really care that much, but I was kind of curious. Obviously not that curious, but um, so yeah, that's politics in a nutshell. Red wave, whatever. I don't know what that means. I see that like on news websites, like news headlines and whatever, but I have no idea what it means. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should look up what that means. Um. Anyways, that's government, I guess. Um. Recently, the Nerf. This is so out of left field. The Nerf pulse rifle from Aliens, I guess. They made like a Nerf replica of it, and I was watching a review of it for God knows why. Oh, I know why. It's kind of cool. And first off, the thing is like yellow with like black like safety stripes on it. Like it's okay. It's supposed to be like the power loader from Aliens, believe it or not. That's what it's like designed off of because the original, obviously, you can't make a gun or a Nerf gun that looks like an actual gun. Not that the pulse rifle really looks like a gun, but I mean it obviously has the cues of a firearm. So they have to make it yellow and make it look like the power loader, which is fine, whatever. I just don't know why you didn't make the yellow green. Um, Green isn't that common on a firearm. It's usually like desert tan or black, you know? Like they could have even left the muzzle white for all I care. Just like make the plasticky part, make that green like it is in the movie, you know? But I digress. Guess I'm a purist over here. Anyways, and there's another weird thing was that the magwell, actually not weird for me. The reviewer I was watching was complaining about how the magwell, you were unable to use normal Nerf magazines because how it because of how lengthy it was and because it was all covered in plastic. So normal Nerf magazines seat in at a certain level, and then there is a little lip that you cannot, that obviously blocks it from being pushed too far in and breaking something, I guess. This gun, the magazine does not have one of those because it has to seat all the way into the gun. Because the one in the movie, like the bottom of the magazine seats like flush to the bottom. That was not flush. Seats flush to the bottom of the gun. That was also not flush. But so this guy was complaining like, Nerf, why did you not make this a proprietary? Why did you make this a proprietary ammunition or a proprietary magazine system? I cannot fathom what they were thinking in the boardroom when they designed this. And I was just like, well, it wouldn't have looked like the real gun if it like had half the magazine sticking out the bottom. And that was like the only way they could have, like, how else did you expect them to do that, man? Also, who's taking this out to go shoot it in like a Nerf war? This is something you put on your wall and forget about. Something you paint and cosplay with. This isn't a Nerf gun you take out to shoot things with. This isn't a battle blaster. And if it is a battle blaster, use it in like a home battle where you don't need 3 18-round stick mags to keep jamming and blasting everything out. It's like, whatever. I don't know. Kind of made me upset because I was just like, it wouldn't look like the gun from the movie if it didn't have that proprietary magazine system instead of the normal one. So maybe that's just me though. Maybe I'm just a purist, which I guess I am. But I mean, maybe I am. I don't know. Last night I was watching band tour bus tours, and I really kind of want to make a video about it because like they're so funny and just entertaining to watch for me. Like I don't know why they're so entertaining to me to just watch these people be like, "Yo, what's up? We're Dad Bod, and this is our tour bus." And then they go into the tour bus, and it's just like Cheetos everywhere, like on the seats. Like, yo, we've been in this van for like 3 months now. Like, don't judge the scent. Anyways, so this is where I sleep. Just a massive sweat mark on on the seat. It's like, yo, so that's where I sleep. It's where my boy Joni sleeps. He sleeps behind me, bro. You can see his sweat marks too. We own this piece. Dap up, whatever. Yo, we got these LEDs lit up in here. So, lots of them used vans, which is wild. And it was weird. What's really weird about the vans is that the dichotomy between each van, like the differences between each van. So the first one I watched was, I wrote it down because Laura Morano, the girl from Austin and Ally, if anyone knows what that is. I barely know what that is. I don't remember anything about the show. I just remember her. And Austin, I guess. But her van was like it was a nice Mercedes van, probably from, the last 5 years of cars, whatever. And she was like, and like all the seats were there. And then the back had like a whole separate compartment for like stuff. Cool, whatever. The next one was like, I think they're called Flip Turn. Yeah, Flip Turn. Not the move from Pokemon, but the band. They had an older van, like a one you would see any construction person driving, or a serial killer, or a kidnapper, one of those vans. One of those typical vans that either Ford or not Ford, the Chevy or GMC, they look exactly the same, but they're two different cars for some reason. Trucks, whatever. Anyways, they had one of those. And they had, I'm pretty sure every seat. I think, yeah, they had every seat in their van, but they were like all packed in too. It was kind of like a sardine can in there. And they kind of had messes everywhere or whatever. And Laura's was pretty clean, right? I mean, there were things that were kind of weird. Like there were like apples and oranges and like You know how there's like that mesh net or what mesh compartment like behind like the seat, like the driver's seat and the passenger seat. They had like apples and oranges and a bottle of wine in there, which was interesting, um, to say the least. But anyways, that didn't. It was just fun, weird. So Flip Turn has like their older van with like these, pretty standard van, honestly. Um, but they're packed in there. All the seats are there. The next band called, I believe, Execution Day. Yeah, Execution Day. I had it on a post-it note because I was like, I'm gonna watch all these, and then each one that I watch, I'm gonna try and listen to their music a little bit because maybe they bang. I don't know, not that kind of bang, but maybe they slap. Anyways, so Execution Day had a really old van, like a Ford something, and like as soon as it opens, it's yo, what's up? I'm Kyle from Execution Day. Yo, what's up? I'm Johnny, and this is our van. And it's just the loudest sound coming from the engine. It's like, yeah, she's seen better days. Just, I guess, But so they go into their van. Their van is also a mess. Their van is more of a mess than the last one. They got like a Taco Bell bag in the front, and it's like random laptop just like kind of thrown in there. Just like random stuff. And then like this is where the important stuff is. Which is pretty funny. And then they get to the back, which is where I really want to hammer home where everything kind of changes between these vans. And they had shop produced, made themselves like a 4 bunk bed system where 4 people could sleep and they would have their own mattress, like baby mattresses, which I didn't know were a thing, but they're like small mattresses essentially. Um, Obviously, I guess baby mattress kind of gave that away. Anyways, so they all have their own mattress in like this like 2x4 built wooden bed frame thing, and they all like kind of slide in, and it was ingenious. I mean, it was pretty cool. I was like, shit, I'd ride in one of those. Like, throw me in there, dude. I would slide in, get some lube on my body. I'm sliding in, you know. And they had like green LED light. Their car was the coolest, probably out of all of them. And they had like just a TV monitor, like a TV or a computer monitor, something like that, just set up behind the not glove compartment, behind like the driver's seat. I cannot think for the life of me. Behind the driver's seat, and it was wild. Honestly, probably my favorite. And then they had a trailer for their actual stuff. And then the last one I'll talk about, there was another one. It was a band of, well, okay, 2 more I want to talk about actually. But they were a band from like the UK, I think. Well, they were British. They're talking like this, and the one girl said "bussin" all the time. It was actually kind of funny. I mean, she was pretty funny actually. But she had like, I don't know if they were contacts or if her eyes were just unnatural, but they were like they closed like this. Like she had the pupils more like a cat than a person, which was terrifying to say the least. But they had like a 2021 Chevy Suburban. It was quite the it was like clean white, just like the nicest truck you've ever seen in your life looking car. Wild. I mean, it was not what I would expect. Now you'd expect like a tour bus, and it's like, no, we just got a Suburban for like 5 people. You like sleep in the trunk. It's pretty awesome, actually. I mean, go off, sis. That's pretty bussin'. Um, and then the last one I'll talk about, they had like a school bus, or it was like Actually, no, it wasn't a school bus. It was like the short bus of school buses, like more of a old person's home bus, transport bus than a school bus. They had one of those. And they had like there were two bands in this bus. I don't remember their names. I forgot to write them down. I'm sorry. They had like four rows of seats, maybe five. No, 4 rows of seats, and then a mesh net that held like all their stuff behind it. And then they had one of those old people mobility or obese people mobility scooter things. It goes but it's like slower than that. So they had one of those, and that's how they got their, I believe, 300, if I heard it correctly, 350-pound organ in the back of their battle bus, I guess you want to call it that. It was that was pretty wild. Honestly, I never realized so much in my life that I wanted to travel across the United States in a bus or van or suburban, I guess, than in that moments last night watching that. So, how long? 31 minutes. Is that good enough? Oh, I have one more. I guess I have one more thing I can talk about. I'm thinking about doing a solo podcast, which I guess at this point is kind of mute when I'm kind of doing that already at this point. I already said at this point once, at this point 3 times. Been thinking about it, and I have 2 ideas for a podcast by myself. Each one is they're both completely different. One of them would be more kind of structured about what I would be talking about every week, and the other one would be still fairly structured but also not as structured. And it makes me think like I don't know how structured I want it to be, because obviously TGOM is not that structured, and honestly I kind of vibe with that, you know what I mean? Like when we do the cow episode is probably one of my favorite episodes, because we kind of just like we're off rib, just kind of talking. Just funny stuff happen when we just talk, as opposed to maybe episodes like I don't know, just another episode that sucks, I guess. Use your own memory or watch them all and find your least favorite, I guess, except for episode 4. Do not watch episode 4 of the movie. That episode just sucks. Not because of the topics, just because it sucks. Okay. Anyways. I love the idea of just being able to talk about anything I'd want, really. Or I can just be like, yeah, I shot something today. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my head. I was like, yeah, I ran over someone today. Maybe not that, but maybe I made a sandwich today. It was bussin', straight bussin'. Yeah, I went to Subway. It sucked. Yeah, I put some lotion on my hands today because, frankly, they were quite dry, for like an hour. Honestly, I think it could go bussin'. It could go crazy. It could go wild. Buck wild, if you will. Because it probably would not be okay, so the one I'm really leaning on, and I think maybe will do, I was going to call it like Jacob's Creative Corner, where I would talk more about more creative things, more ideas that I have, um, how much I hate other people's ideas. Maybe not that, but um, just like, I'm sorry, I'm ADHD slapping this shirt I have hung up next to me. I'm not tested or anything. I just have idle movements like an NPC in a video game. So I've just been thinking about that because, I don't know. I think it would be fun to do. I don't want to pick something that I'm going to do twice and then stop doing it, which is what I fear would happen if I did something more structured, like something that's directly like where I'm directly talking about creative topics like writing, maybe story in general, uh, direct filming, whatever, stuff like that. Just kind of the creative stuff that I like doing. I feel like I'd kind of maybe trap myself, and then it would just like very soon just stop being fun for me, which is not what I want to happen. Because obviously, talking about things that I care about should not be fun. Yeah. Double negative, I think. I don't know. Don't care actually, but yeah. So, and the other one is a more personal thing that I don't really want to talk about because I don't, and I can do that because this is my podcast. I like this angle, by the way. Just lounge, just like chilling, street thugging right now. Should I say that? Straight thugging? No, I should not say that. I can answer that question right now. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I don't really want to end it because I'm kind of, like right now I'm kind of thriving actually. I'm kind of having a banger time. What else can I talk about? I weighed a GameCube controller today. I did. Why? I don't know. I was holding it and I was like, this is pretty heavy actually. This is surprisingly heavy. I did not remember it being this heavy. I mean, it obviously wasn't like a like a barbell or something. Barbell, is that the word? It wasn't like a weight or anything. But compared to like ones I got on Amazon, which should already be a red flag, they're like very light plastic. Press the button and go click, as opposed to the GameCube ones where it's like, weighted, weighted, durable plastic, meaning weighted, good stuff like that. So, yeah. And okay, a little bit of a rollback to the idea to the tour videos, like the tour bus videos. I was thinking, I told my sister about this 'cause I think it'd be really fun if we did this together, where we did a parody video of one of those tour bus guides or tour bus tours, where we pull like we use my mom's like car, and we go like, "Yo, what's up? We're Dad Bod, and this is our tour bus." And then we kind of do a parody of like the tour and like how they do their camera angles, because that's another thing I don't think I talked about is that they kind of always do one of these angles. It's like a wild Michael Bay film. It's pretty crazy, pretty zany. I thought that was really funny, and I think it'd be really funny to do a parody of that using a like SUV. My mom's car an SUV? Was it SUV? Suburban vessel? No. Supreme undone noodle. No. Supreme Supreme udon Venice. No. Leave a comment. What does SUV mean? I don't know. I just realized right now, what's the point of a lava lamp? It's just a nightlight with globs of chemicals. Kind of gross, honestly. Didn't sound edible at all. I thought it was tasty. Then I got brain cancer. Okay, I'm done. I have nothing to talk about. I'm kind of just holding my own right now. My mouth is extremely dry, and I should have been drinking this like entire time. Did you hear that? No, you didn't really. Well, maybe you did. No, I don't think you did. Anyways, it snowed recently. Whatever. Thank you for listening to the TGOM Podcast, episode 39. Leave a comment if you think I should not be numbering the episodes where I talk to you myself, because if you don't say anything, I'm going to keep doing it. And if you do say something, I'm going to keep doing it anyway, because I don't respect your opinions because you are a simpleton. Nah, it's kind of mean. I do respect your opinions. Sometimes. Not really. Bye. Bye, TGOMers. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Don't click off yet. Don't leave. I know I can kind of control that, but like, don't leave yet. What do you guys want the fan base name to be? I've been saying TGOMer. Obviously it's not the best name, but I don't know. Don't know what else you'd want to be called other than TGOMer. Tagami, no. I don't know. You guys come up with TGOM Nation. No, that's terrible. Don't do TGOM Nation. I think TGOMer's pretty good, but that's just me. You guys can come up with your own. There's 15 of you, 3 of which probably are me, but that's okay. You guys do you. Pick out a name, comment it down below. Everyone agree on it. Shouldn't be too hard. That's it. Okay. My nose itches. Goodbye. Oh, oh. Oh wait, we're still recording on this. Hey, what's up?